In the old days in Chicago, I used to do 7 voices on the Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooter show, which a lot of people don't know about, I guess. That was way back in 37, 38, and 39.
Well, you once played Sheriff Mike Shaw on that show, didn't you?
I did Mike Shaw in a voice like that, and I did an Englishman in a voice like that. And I did Henry Akins, who was a town banker, in a voice like that. And I did Hog Barrett, who's a villain. And I also did Hog Barrett's brother, who is named Shotgun Barrett, in the same voice, except he had a lisp. And then, of course, I did Lee Lou, the Chinese cook.
That
was 7. I did a chief, an Indian chief, also. And then when I left in 39 to come here with Fibber McGee and Molly, why, there were 4 or 5 fellows that took over the parts, including a chap by the name of Forrest Lewis, who did very well in several characters, including one called Wash.
At 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time over Mutual Broadcasting, the Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters took to the air. Originally airing from NBC in Chicago in 1933, it featured the just-heard Hal Peary and the ever-present Willard Waterman.
Everybody that I've spoken with about the radio days in Chicago have told me about the dash from the Merchandise Mart to the Tribune Tower to the Wrigley Building.
That's right.
We part of that.
We all did that.
Bridges Up group.
Yeah, I once did. I had one time I was on 3 networks within 45 minutes. I did a show on CBS called Bachelor Children. It happened inadvertently. Somebody didn't see the name in the script, and so I wasn't called. In the last minute, they called me and said, "Hey, you're in today." That was on, I don't remember the time, 10:45 or something like that. And then the program on WGN Mutual was on from 10:45 to 11, 11 to 11:15, and then the one on NBC called Thunder in the Air was on from 11:15 to 11:30. So all of a sudden I turned up in all 3 of them the same day, and I did the show on CBS, Bachelor Children, ran across the street to the Tribune Tower, and up in the elevator, which I had greased the man, and then I had a cab waiting for me down on the lower level under the Tribune Tower, and I dashed down when the commercial came on, into the cab across Kinsey Street, which doesn't take the bridge into consideration. You don't have to worry about that. And in the one on Thunder in the Air, I was supposed to be in the first 3 or 4 minutes. And then another scene, so they reversed the 2 scenes.
Oh.
And I had about 3 minutes plus the commercials, and the commercials on the other end to make the show. And I had an elevator waiting for me and ran me up, and I went to the studio and picked up the script. And so I don't know how many other times that was done, but I was on 3 networks in 45 minutes.
You were probably, cabs were speeding in the other direction from Marvin Miller coming the other direction or somebody like that.
We all did that working in the soaps because there were a lot of conflicts.
Tom Mix was created as an advertising vehicle for the Ralston Purina Company. Its format was devised by Charles Claggett, a St. Louis adman, and based on the life of a real cowboy, Tom Mix. Born in Pennsylvania in 1880, he became a soldier and champion roper, winning a national title in 1909. Mix began appearing in movies, and much like Buffalo Bill Cody, his legend soon outgrew his actual exploits, thanks to natural showmanship. By the time radio got him, he was seldom mentioned in print, without a platoon of fantastic adjectives. Perhaps the most famous actor to play Tom Mix was Russell Thorson, who held the role for the Blue Network in the early 1940s, until it was canceled on March 27, 1942.
I picked up a few jobs and then came the Tom Mix thing, and I went to Chicago.
Because the Tom Mix show originated from Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And you had to be there, of course, to do it. Now, how did you get the job as Tom Mix? You were Tom Mix.
You won't believe this. My wife wanted to get into radio, and there was a local station there that had a soap opera thing called Daughter-in-Law, directed by, do you remember Tony Leader? And Tony was directing it. Didn't get any money out of it. But my wife wanted me to work with her because she wanted to learn the business. So I did. I wasn't working this one particular day, but I talked a bit with Tony Leader and wanted to know where I was from and so forth. I told him I was from Montana. So my wife was working on the show one day, and when he got through, he said, "Where's Russ?" And she said, "Well, I'm supposed to meet him for lunch up at the Carnegie Hall Tavern." He said, "Well, he's from Montana." He said, "There's a guy by the name of Clarence Menzer. He's coming into New York to audition for a new character, a new person for Tom Mix." And he said, "I know this Marge Morrow, casting director." He said, "I'll call her. You get hold of Russ and send him up there to NBC. They're auditioning him. 3 o'clock this afternoon." So I went up, walked in one of the big audience studios. It was jammed, 200 people in there. They finally got through about 7 o'clock that night. We each had a few little speeches to read. And he said, "I want to see 8 of you tomorrow." I was one of the 8. We went to 8 of us the next day and auditioned, and then he said, "I want 4 of you back here tomorrow to make recordings." So I came back with the 3 other guys. Mr. Menzer said goodbye, and you'll hear from us. That was the last I heard of it for about 3 weeks. And I was working on a show called Our True Story up at NBC, and we had to do 2 shows, 2 broadcasts. I was between shows, and I was sitting out in the lobby talking with some of the other guys out there, and the page boy called me over to the desk. And I had told my wife I was going to bring home a bottle of gin so we could have a drink after the show. And I said hello, and she said, "Russ, make that a quart of scotch." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You're going to Chicago to do Tom Mix." That's the first I knew of it. So I was off to Chicago.
And I always thought that Tom Mix was a teetotaler. I didn't. I thought Ralston Purina was the only thing he ever ate, you know.
When the Ralston people, and they were wonderful people, came up to Chicago, they always threw a nice dinner party for the members of the cast, and there was plenty of scotch and stuff floating around to take care of people.
How long did you do Tom Mix?
Until it was canceled. I think it was in 42.
It was canceled?
Yeah. And the war came along, you know.
Well, was that the reason for it being canceled, the war?
Yeah. Practically everything in Chicago went.
Oh, I see.
All the soap operas
Everything
went.
left Chicago.
The whole thing just left.
Tom Mix was revived and moved to Mutual beginning June 5, 1944, in a 15-minute serial. By then, Mix joined others like Jack Armstrong, Captain Midnight, and even Superman in the war against the Axis. The show became known as radio's biggest Western detective program.
Did Tom Mix go to another?
Later it went to a Mutual network. Stayed right in Chicago. And Curly Bradley, who was one of the ranch boys, who sang on the thing and also played a part on the thing. And Curly came out here too, and then suddenly he disappeared, and I found out he was doing Tom Mix when it came back on the air.
So you wonder why they wouldn't have called you back.
Oh, I wouldn't have gone back. I was too well situated out here at the time, no.
Oh, because when it started again, it started back in Chicago.
Yeah,
That was at probably a WGN.
It was WGN,
and Mutual
yeah.
then at that point.
Was Mutual, yeah.
So you did those shows live 5 days a week then, right?
Yeah.
Were there repeats in there?
Yeah, we had to do a repeat. We didn't have the taping facilities they have now. We did mix, I think it was 4:45 and 5:45.
Joe Curly Bradley played Mix throughout the later run. He was a former Oklahoma cowboy and Hollywood stuntman who learned to sing around bonfires. As for the real Tom Mix, he had nothing to do with the serial. He died in a car accident near Florence, Arizona, on October 12, 1940.
The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters are on the air. And here comes Tom Mix, America's favorite cowboy, with another thrill-packed Western adventure program.
Hot Tony, come on, boy. Shredded Ralston for your breakfast. Starts the day off shining bright. Gives you lots of cowboy energy with a flavor that's just right. It's delicious and nutritious, bite-sized and ready to eat. Take a tip from Tom, go and tell your mom shredded Ralston can't be beat.
The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters bring you action, mystery, and mile-a-minute thrills in radio's biggest Western detective program. Tonight you're about to hear another episode in a baffling mystery. The Mystery of the Vanishing Herd. Thousands of cattle killed mysteriously on the range. A series of strange accidents at the air base at Twin Rivers. As Tom Mix seeks to solve these baffling mysteries, the man who is behind all of this, the Nazi saboteur known as the Iron Mask, prepares to strike one last powerful blow. Tonight, at exactly 9 o'clock, he plans to kill 10,000 cattle and at the same time bomb the hangar at the air base where Colonel Christie is carefully guarding a new secret fighter plane. Well, right now, Tom Mix is at the air base, while at the hideout of the Iron Mask atop windswept Devil's Mesa, two people sit in a heavily barred room talking. They are Jane and Phineas X. Tweedles, who are being held prisoners by the Mask. Listen.
Oh, Jane, old girl, do you suppose these ruddy Nazis are trying to starve us into submission?
I don't know, Mr. Tweedle.
We haven't had a bite to eat for 24 hours. I say, I'm frightfully hungry.
We've missed breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, yes. And speaking of breakfast, old onion, the TM Bar Ranch serves a breakfast that's really a button popper.
A button popper? What's a button popper?
Oh, you know, a breakfast that makes you feel so positively pip-pip that you start popping the buttons off your waistcoat. Oh, dear, wasn't that funny? Yes.
Why, she's a good cook.
Oh, tut-tut. The breakfast to which I refer has nothing whatsoever to do with Wash's cooking. It's a ready-to-eat dish, you know. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can picture it now. Delectable little biscuits of delightful size and delicious taste. A divine delicacy that scintillates one's taste buds.
Goodness, what a description. You must be talking about shredded Ralston.
Come again, old girl?
Shredded Ralston. That's the cowboy's favorite cereal. Don't tell me you've never tried it before.
Can't say that I have.
Shredded Ralston is whole wheat baked into little bite-sized biscuits that fit right on your spoon.
Oh, I say.
Crisp and toasty.
Oh, stop it, old girl.
With a flavor that... Oh, it's so good.
Oh, no, please don't.
And served with cream and berries.
Oh, I can't stand it. My mouth is positively drooling.
Shredded Ralston gives you cowboy energy. And...
Yeah, right.
Hey, listen.
Huh? Ooh, sounds like aircraft.
Mr. Tweedles, I've never seen anything like this. Look through the bars of this window here. The Iron Mask's men have uncovered a runway we never even knew was there. And what we thought were trees and bushes are actually cleverly camouflaged planes.
Yes, my dear, I spotted all of that when we were brought in here.
Oh, Mr. Tweedles, you know you didn't.
No, I beg your pardon. Quite right, old girl, I really didn't. In fact, I humbly beg your pardon.
Look, it's dark, but you can see the planes by the floodlights they're using.
Yes?
Those are fighter planes, Mr. Tweedles, and medium bombers.
Yes.
In 15 or 20 minutes, they're going to take off to bomb the air base, to bomb the hangar where Colonel Christie is keeping that new secret army plane.
I know, my dear, I know, yes.
What can we do about it? We've got to warn Tom. We've got to let him know what the Iron Mask is up to. Oh, and goodness gracious.
I say, old Tutney, what's wrong now?
The cattle. The Iron Mask said he had plans to kill 10,000 steers tonight by gassing them.
Oh.
We've got to save those cattle,
You're
too.
perfectly right, we do. The only question is, how?
Mr. Tweedles, please don't just sit there. Do something.
Did it ever occur to you, my dear Jane, that one of the best ways of doing something is to do nothing?
Oh, golly, you're no help at all.
No, seriously. I mean what I say. You see, while you've been in that fetching, childlike manner of yours, I, Phineas X. Tweedles, have been thinking.
What good will thinking do?
The truth of the matter is, my thinking has been helpful, or shall be shortly.
Oh, dear.
Jane, I can't stand to see you worry any longer. I think the time has come for me to make a confession to you.
Please, not now. All I want to do is get out of here, escape somehow, and warn Tom of what's happening.
In that case, child, you had better listen to me. You see, I am not what I appear to be at all, and my name is not Phineas X. Tweedles. I feel I should tell you this now, for I'm going to need your help badly.
What are you talking about?
First, my dear Jane, let me drop this silly English accent. All right. Now, listen to my voice change.
Well,
see there? And here's a little more.
My goodness.
And now I'm down to normal. There. That's better.
Mr. Tweedles, you've changed your voice.
Yes, Jane, and I'm not Mr. Tweedles. I am Joe Begley of the FBI.
Joe Begley of the FBI?
That's right.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm deadly serious. I can't show you my credentials. I was careful to throw them away just before we were captured.
But I don't understand.
Well, Jane, there's no time to explain now, except to say this. I was sent here to investigate the killing of these cattle. The reason for my disguise is obvious, but never mind all that now. We've got to go to work, Jane, and we've got to go to work fast.
Oh, Mr. Tweedles, I mean Mr. Begley, I'm so glad you're not Mr. Tweedles. I feel safer and... Gosh, I'm not afraid anymore.
Good girl, Jane. You're going to need every ounce of courage you've got, so keep your chin up.
What are you going to do?
Something very simple. So simple, it may work. Now, listen. They've left some horses hitched to that picket line out there at the edge of the field.
Yes, I can see them.
What we've got to do is to get to those horses and ride to warn the colonel at the air base.
But we're locked in this room and the window's barred. How can we get out?
You and I are going to pull an old trick, Jane. Let's hope to heaven it works.
What trick?
You're going to suddenly get a stomachache.
Stomachache?
Exactly. When I tell you to, I want you to start moaning and groaning as if you were really in pain. If the trick succeeds, the guard outside will come in to see what's wrong. When he does, I'll take care of him.
Oh, dear. Do you think I can fool him? Well, I mean, I don't know how good I am at pretending.
Jane, the food supply of this nation is at stake. A powerful new secret fighting plane at the air base is in danger of being destroyed. You've got to fool that guard.
I will. You bet I will if it's the last thing I do.
Fine. All right, then. Now, wait a minute. Here comes the guard now. I'm going to take this big water pitcher and get behind the door. You put on your best act, and when that Nazi guard comes in, I'll let him have it with the pitcher. All set?
All set.
Okay. Start to go into your song and dance. Lay it on thick now.
Right. Oh, my stomach.
Come on.
Oh, it hurts.
Give it everything you've got.
Somebody come.
You've got a stomach ache now. You're sick. You're dying. Come on.
My stomach. Oh, please come.
I say, my good man. I'm glad you came along, sir. I'm afraid the little girl in here is ill. Badly ill. She looks ghastly, old boy. She's doubled up with pain, sir.
Oh, she's sick, huh? What seems to be the matter?
Come in.
Please help me.
What's this roast meat, you little girl?
That fixed him. He's out like a light.
Mr. Begley, it worked.
Quick. I've got his gun. Let's get out of here. Come on, Jane.
Yes.
The door to outside is this way.
Yes, you're right. There it is, straight ahead.
We're in luck. There's nobody in sight. There are the horses. Run for it, Jane.
Right.
Oh.
He's here.
Don't stop. It's too late. Run, Jane, run. Follow me. I'll keep in front of you. When they start shooting, they'll have to hit me before they hit you.
No, Mr. Begley, no.
Keep running.
Oh, they're shooting.
Yeah, but keep going. Get to those horses. Run as fast as you can.
Oh, Mr. Begley.
I'll be hit. Don't stop for me.
But...
Head to those horses. Ride for the air base. Go to it, Janie. Go to it.
Sure you won't stay for at least a cup of coffee, Tom?
No, thanks, Colonel Christie. I've got to hit the trail and find Janie Tweedles.
Tom, I know how you feel. About Jane, I mean. And you can be sure I'll have every plane at the base take off at daylight to make a search for her and Tweedles.
That's mighty fine of you, Colonel.
Mighty fine. Tom, there isn't a single man on this base that wouldn't do anything in the world for you. As for me, well, no matter what I did, it would never repay you for all you've done for me.
I sure appreciate what you're saying, Colonel. You've got your hands full guarding that secret plane without worrying about my trouble.
Come in.
Captain Gentry reporting, sir.
Yes, Captain?
All quiet, sir. Cordon of men surrounds the hangar in which the plane is stored. So far, there's been no attempted sabotage.
Good. Keep a close watch, Captain.
Right, sir.
Well, Tom, so far, everything's quiet.
Yeah, sure is, Colonel. You know, I hate to say it, but I've got a feeling it's not going to be quiet for long.
What makes you think that?
I wish I knew. Sort of a hunch, I reckon. I've had plenty of hunches in my life. I could show you a lot of bullet wounds that came just 10 or 20 seconds after I had a hunch to turn around. If I hadn't turned around, those bullets would have finished me off. So anytime I get a hunch, I hate to toss it aside like a busted stirrup. Of course, I may be...
Colonel Christie, sir.
Yes, Captain?
The little girl's just arrived on horseback, sir, and she insists on seeing...
Janie, honey.
Oh, Tom, I'm so glad to see you. Quick, Tom, you've got to do something. You've got to stop the Iron Mask.
The child's overwrought. She's hysterical.
No, Colonel, not Jane. Looks like my hunch was right. Janie, go ahead. We're listening.
The Iron Mask. He's going to bomb the hangar the secret plane is in. He's going to kill 10,000 cattle tonight at the same time.
What time?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock? Great Scott, it's almost that now. Hey, Captain.
Yes, sir.
Get A and D fighter squadrons in the air at once. Tell them to watch for enemy planes.
Enemy plane, sir. Here.
You heard me. Snap into it. On the double, man.
Right, sir.
Janie, I sure am glad you're back safe. Where's Tweedles?
Tom, his name isn't Tweedles. He's Joe Begley of the FBI.
Yes, Janie, I know he is.
You know? You knew all the time?
Yes. What's the matter? Oh, honey, you mustn't cry. Everything's going to be all right.
Of course it is.
But, Tom, Joe Begley, they...
What about him?
Oh, it was terrible. I just can't...
Janie, tell me what happened.
They shot him.
So they shot Joe Begley. They shot him, did they? Janie, where are they?
There's a building in a hangar atop Devil's Mesa. Oh, I hope you get them, Tom.
I'll get it. Colonel Christie speaking. Yes? Oh, just a minute. What's for you, Tom? The sheriff.
Thanks, Colonel. Hello, Sheriff. Never mind that. She's here and safe. Sheriff, listen to me. The Iron Mask is planning to kill 10,000 head of cattle tonight. Round up every cowhand you can find. Tell them to drive the cattle off of the plateaus and get them down in the valleys. I don't care how they do it, but get as many cattle off the plateaus as you can. And pronto. Goodbye, Sheriff. Colonel Christie.
What's that? That signal red, the alert. That means we spotted the enemy planes coming over. There goes our first fighter plane. And another. And there goes another. We're ready for him, Tom. Ready for him, thanks to this brave little girl.
Colonel.
Yes?
I want a plane.
But, Tom.
I want a plane. Do I get it?
You bet you'll get it, Tom. And I'm flying with you. I wouldn't miss this show for all the rice in China. Come on!
It certainly looks as if there's plenty of action ahead. What will happen next? Whatever Tom does, he hasn't got the Iron Mask yet. And that's the most important thing to remember. As Tom goes into action, the enemy bombers are lining up for their bombing runs. Will Tom and the other squadrons be able to intercept them? Will the Iron Mask succeed in his plan to destroy the new secret fighter plane? And will he follow out his threat to kill 10,000 cattle? Be sure to listen tomorrow. And straight shooters, tomorrow morning, be sure to sit yourself down to a bowl of crisp, toasty, shredded Ralston. Boy, oh boy, served with milk or cream and your favorite fruit, shredded Ralston has a flavor that tops them all. Made of whole wheat and baked into little bite-sized biscuits that fit right on your spoon, shredded Ralston will start more excitement around your house than a 3-day rodeo. And because it's whole wheat, shredded Ralston is loaded with cowboy energy. The kind of energy that gets you off to a flying head start for the day. Helps you to be a winner and a straight shooter. Now, if you don't have a red and white checkerboard package of shredded Ralston on your pantry shelf right now, rope your mother and tell her to get one for you. Tell her it's the ready-to-eat, bite-sized whole wheat cereal Tom Mix recommends. And don't forget to join us tomorrow when Tom Mix rides the range again.
Up, Tony. Come on, boy.
Shredded Ralston for your breakfast. Starts the day off shining bright and gives you lots of cowboy energy with a flavor that's just right. It's delicious and nutritious, bite-sized and ready to eat.
There goes Tom Mix, America's favorite cowboy. But he'll be back with another exciting adventure tomorrow evening, same time, same station, when the Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters are on the air. Tom Mix was played by Curly Bradley. Don Gordon speaking. This is Mutual.
At 6:15, it was Hop Harrigan's turn to sign on over the Blue Network's WJZ. It starred Chester Stratton as Hop Harrigan, young aviator known as America's ace of the airwaves, with Jackson Beck as Tank Tinker. Beck was all over radio.
I was the original Cisco Kid. I did Philo Vance. I was the lead on the FBI in Peace and War. And I did such shows as the Kate Smith Show, Hobby Lobby, if anybody remembers that.
Hey,
We the People.
I remember Hobby Lobby. I remember one time they had a talking dog. Were you on that show by any
Probably was, but
you weren't the talking dog by any chance.
No. Oh, and I did Ripley's Believe It or Not, which was a great show to be on. The one show I remember so vividly in that one was the night we had Louis Armstrong as the guest. I don't know what the connection was. We're doing a story on Louis Armstrong, believe it or not. We had B.A. Rolfe's brass band, and Louis drowned them out. And, we did 2 shows then. We did a show for the East Coast, and then we did a repeat. And on the repeat show for the West Coast, they were waiting for him. And he drowned them out again.
Great Nuts Flakes presents Hop Harrigan, America's ace of the airwaves. CX-4 calling control tower. CX-4 calling control tower. Standing by.
Control tower, back to
Southeast, ceiling 1200. All clear.
Okay! This is Hop Harrigan coming in! And this is Glenn Riggs, boys and girls, saying hello for Grape Nuts Flakes, the breakfast food that makes you as strong as, well, you name it, Tank.
Yeah, it's like breaking through a heavy overcast.
What do you mean, Tank?
Hop Harrigan first took to the air on August 31st, 1942, running on the Blue Network and later ABC until August 2nd, 1946. It was revived from October 2nd, 1946 through February 6th, 1948 over Mutual Broadcasting. Hop went on missions in dangerous territory behind enemy lines. He had dogfights, went underground in war-torn Berlin, and saw heavy service in the Pacific during the Battle of Okinawa.
What about those muscles that ripple like trees in a storm?
And you know, fellas and gals, you really owe it to yourself to feel good and strong. And Mom wants to keep you feeling good and strong.
Right, Tank, all the way. So let's go with Grape Nuts Flakes. Remember, Grape Nuts Flakes. They've got what it takes. Now to our story. Reporting to Allied Air Intelligence Headquarters in the little Dutch town of Friedorf, immediately behind the American lines, Hop Harrigan and his mechanic pal, Tank Tinker, received orders for an important photographic mission to Berlin. They are to obtain pictures of 8 enemy interceptor airfields, which are part of the defense ring of the Nazi capital. Their shuttle flight plan is to carry them to an airfield in liberated Poland and then back across Germany to Friedorf, where they are to receive further orders from Major McCall, their superior officer and personal friend. As we left the boys yesterday, they had just taken off in a powerful Northrop P-61 and are now heading east through the darkness. Holding the plane skillfully on course, his hands light but firm on the controls, Hop is constantly on the alert, eyes searching the heavens for possible enemy action. But immediately behind and slightly above him, in the gunner observer's greenhouse, Tank raves on joyously about the new plane.
Oh, boy, I can't get over it, Hop. What a ship this is. Listen to them 2 motors. 4,000 horsepower pulling us through the sky.
Oh, relax, Tank, relax. You've done nothing but rave about the plane since the takeoff. You're like a kid with a new toy.
Boy, wait till we run across a flock of missies. Well, I gonna work on them with those 50 caliber machine guns. Chop them up into kindling wood.
I hate to stick a pin in that toy balloon of yours, Tank, but if we see any missies, we duck. Our job is to get pictures of the Berlin airfields. We only fight if we have to.
Well, do you mind if I hope we have to?
Okay, you win.
Hey, I just happen to think, what time is it?
9 minutes after 4.
Oh, we contact the B-17s at 0410, don't we?
1 minute to go. The rendezvous altitude is 25,000. They'll be up above that cloud layer there.
Then after we're recognized, we climb to 35,000 and follow them into the target, right?
Check. 45 seconds now. Hang on. We're going up.
Let her rip. You hear them power plants? Brother, is that sweet music. How's she handle, huh?
Like a dream. She weighs all of 25,000 pounds, as much as a medium bomber, but she's light as a feather on the controls.
Now listen to who's raving.
Okay, wise guy. Now stand by. We're at 23,000.
Boy, that cloud layer is thick enough to walk on.
23.5.
Sure glad we got these electric suits on. Plenty cold up there.
With all the fat you pack around, you don't ever have to worry about being cold.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, who you call fat?
24.5. Cloud layer's thinning out. Stand by now. Watch for the bombers.
I see him at 2 o'clock.
Right. We're 25,000. I'll level off and get close to the leader.
Holy cow, look at them all. Berlin's sure gonna take a pasting tonight.
That's probably only one squadron. Switch on the radio. They'll be asking for recognition in a minute.
Check.
They'll be calling on band 5.
Right.
Bombing 7 to CX.
Coming in, Hop.
Turn up the volume a little.
7 to CX4. Bombing 7 to CX4. Give prearranged recognition. Give prearranged recognition. Over.
Dip your wings, Hop. They're asking for it.
Here we go. Lucky there's a moon so they can see us.
Bombing 7 to CX4. Signal received. Take position as planned. Take position as planned. Over and out.
They cut off.
Okay. Keep the radio on, but down low. We're going up to 35,000 now.
Let her rip!
Hauling the stick straight back, Hop lifts the nose of the P-61 and sends it roaring up through the substratosphere. The air gets colder and thinner, and both boys double-check their oxygen masks. Hop adjusts the pitch of the propellers to give the giant blades a firmer grip on the thin atmosphere, and the superchargers pulsate strongly to keep the air pressure high in the twin engines.
Better start getting ready, Tank. We'll be on target in a few minutes.
Jack, you're going to handle the cameras yourself, ain't you?
Yeah, the exposure button has been fitted onto the stick, but you'll have to drop the flares.
Okay, the releases are right here, next to my elbow.
We'll only have to make one sweep over the course. The 3 cameras are set up to cover a wide area.
Bombing 7 to CX4.
Hey, the bomber's calling us, Hop.
Right, I hear it.
7 to CX4. Clouds breaking below. To Gala Lake ahead and below. We'll be holding present course, but you sheer off on your own target run. Good luck to you. Over and out.
I can see the lake myself now. Looks like a puddle from up here. You see it, Hop?
Yeah, and I see the Nazis are waking up. Plenty of searchlights.
Yeah, and flak, too. The puffballs are busting all around the bomber.
They haven't spotted us yet. Well, get set, Tank. I'm going to take it down fast.
Okay by me. I'll be glad to get rid of this oxygen mask. Uh-oh, here they come.
What?
Fighting interceptors at 11 o'clock. They're circling around, getting ready to peel off against the fort.
They're a good 4,000 feet below us, and they don't see us.
Oh, can't we lace into them? I'm dying to give these guns a workout.
Okay, warm them up.
Yowie! Come on, you pretty babies. Let's hear you sing for Daddy. All hot and ready. Let's go.
I'll open up the nose guns. There. That does it. Now, here's the plan, Tank. We'll only make one pass at them.
Only one?
That's all we can risk. If they didn't happen to be right on our course, I wouldn't go near them.
Okay, one pass is better than nothing.
We'll dive right through them and break up their formation. Pick off as many as we can. Then keep going down to our assigned altitude, 5,000, and go to work with the cameras. Now, you got that?
Roger.
Here we go.
They're coming out of their circle, Hop, getting ready to peel.
We'll hit them just in time. Plow right through from top to bottom.
They ain't seen us yet.
They're concentrating on the bombers. Stand by now. We're almost on them.
I got my target all picked out.
Ready? Ready? Now, hit them, Tank.
With all I got. Yowie, caught him right in the midsection. He's falling off.
And here's one for me.
Oh, brother, you blasted him apart. They won't never be able to put him together again.
Stop talking and get to work on those guns.
Check. That's the way to do it, baby. Hose them good. Bring him right in the pin. Ha-ha! Knock that guy's tail feathers right off.
Formation's breaking, Tank. They're flying around wildly.
They don't know what hit them.
Just one more in front of us and we're in the clear.
I'll take care of him. Scratch another, Messy. You got him right in the fuel tank. He's smoking.
Okay, relax. We're through now. It's all clear ahead.
Oh, boy, did that feel good. The first honest-to-goodness scrap I've had in a long time.
Well, I hope that'll hold you for a while. We're down to 10,000. Get rid of the mass.
With pleasure. Phew, what a relief.
The lake's right in front of us. What's the reading on the course over the airfields?
Oh, wait a minute. I'll check the map. 081.
Right. Now, get ready at the flares. I'm leveling off. Let the first one go.
Flare away. Got the cameras going?
Uh-huh. And take a look below.
Jumping Jenny's one of the fields we're looking for. I can see the plane starting to take off.
Could be a perfect shot. Stand by in the next flare.
Standing by.
Let her go.
Check.
What happened?
Well, we got a lemon that time. The flare pooped out.
That's all right. Try another.
Uh-oh, the heinies are getting mad, sending up black special delivery. COD.
We'll have to plow right through it and hope for the best. Can't change course now. Stand by for the third flare.
Standing by.
Drop it.
He's dropped. Bullseye. There's another field, wide open.
2 of them. See the other runway? About a mile east.
Yeah, then that makes 3. Hey, we sure are getting good shots.
Yeah, and we're getting all the scrap iron in Berlin thrown at us, too.
I'll say. That last one do any damage?
No, but they're getting the range, and we can't change course. Stand by for another flare.
Okay.
Let her go.
She's gone. See anything?
No, but I hope the camera does. We're almost at the end of the course, aren't we?
Yeah, another 30 seconds will see us through. If we live that long. Hold her, Hop.
I'm doing the best I can, but this is brutal. Drop another flare, Tank. We've got to finish out the course.
There it goes. There. I see the other field. Just the tip of the runway.
They were trying to close it down. We caught them just in time.
Well, that's our limit, ain't it? 4 of them?
Uh-huh. Now let's get out of this mess. Hang on. We're going to grab ourselves plenty of sky.
Can't get up there too soon to suit me. They're throwing up everything but the kitchen sink. That was the kitchen sink.
Keep your fingers crossed. We're up to 9,000 now. Another 5 should see us in the clear.
Come on, honey, get us up there. Get us up.
The shots are starting to fall short. Now, while they're readjusting the range, we'll twist off course like this.
Nice going, Hop. You threw him perfect. The last bunch of flak went way off our port wing.
12,000 now. We're coming in open country. I think we're going to make it, Tank.
I'm still keeping my fingers crossed.
Yes, we are making it. The flak is way off now. Far too short. They've lost us.
Phew. And I used to laugh at those ACCA guys. Well, we're through it, and we got the pictures. Now for a nice, pleasant little ride to Poland. Hey, what's the matter? What are you gunning the motors for, huh?
I'm not. Something's gone wrong.
Hey, we're going into a dive. Hop, pull her out.
I'm trying to.
Stop and Jenny's, we're heading straight down. Hop, for the love of Pete, do something. We're down to 10,000.
I know. Look at the airspeed indicator. We're hitting 700 miles an hour, and I can't seem to pull her out. The controls won't answer.
Flying over Berlin, with Nazi anti-aircraft batteries lying in wait, the controls of Hop's P-61 suddenly freeze, and the plane plummets toward Earth at a speed faster than sound, while Hop struggles desperately to pull the madly plunging ship out of its steep vertical dive. In just a moment, we'll return for a preview of tomorrow's exciting episode.
Well, say, friends, look who's running here to beat the band. The Gremlin. Whoa, Gremlin.
I thought I'd never make it, but, gee, I did.
Well, Gremlin, I wasn't expecting you anymore today. But it's better late than never.
Yeah. Am I glad I found out about Grape Nuts Flakes? Better late than never.
How's that, Gremlin?
Well, if I didn't eat Grape Nuts Flakes this morning, I wouldn't have the bounce to get here. I got here faster than fast.
You were running like a rabbit.
Faster. I was puffing a little, but now I can start right out again. Those Grape Nuts Flakes, they've got what it takes.
Oh, you're right there, Gremlin. But are you heading somewhere now?
I got no place to go, but I just feel like going. I got stamina. Here I go.
Well, so long, Gremlin. Well, friends, the Gremlin is really taking on speed these days, and you can bet those Grape Nuts Flakes have a lot to do with it. Just you start eating Grape Nuts Flakes every morning and see. You'll have more zip than a BB gun. And delicious. Say they're malty rich and toasty brown. The Happy Breakfast cereal. So ask Mom to get you some crisp, tempting Grape Nuts Flakes. Now back to Hop Harrigan. Struggling desperately with the frozen controls of his P-61, Hop is fighting to bring the madly plummeting ship out of its vertical dive. Less than 5,000 feet below them, heavy German anti-aircraft batteries are waiting to cut the Black Widow into ribbons. Tomorrow, Hop saves the ship in an amazing display of flying skill. But tomorrow, too, both Hop and Tank face a major decision, so be sure to listen. Tune in and fly with Hop Harrigan, America's ace of the airways. Brought to you Monday through Friday by the makers of Grape Nuts Flakes.
CX-4 to control tower. CX-4 to control tower. Standing by.
Control tower to CX-4. All clear.
Okay. This is Hop Harrigan taking off. See you tomorrow. Same time, same station.
So long, Hop, and don't forget Grape Nuts Flakes. They've got what it takes. Hop Harrigan is a copyrighted feature appearing in All American Comics magazine.